Thank you.
Let me tell you, there is no one who can tell me how to answer questions. No one. Not even a hanging judge can do that to me. No one. It's not going to start with you. It has never happened. I'm answering the way I want to answer.
Which direction are you moving from that stage? Which direction are you moving? You are moving to the far right. Is that correct? And you're also firing shots towards the right where those people are standing. Can you confirm that?
I'm not firing any shots, by the way. There's no shots I'm firing. So which shots am I going to say I'm firing them from the far right? I'm not firing any shots. I've never fired any shots.
Why don't you just fire towards their direction as they are standing there?
It's none of your business. It's my business where I fire from. It's my event. I can even fire under the stage if you so wish. I decide how I'm going to perform it. It's none of your business. You have no business with how EFF conducts its business. As long as it's lawful and it doesn't violate any law, where do you come in? Ungenapi? It's their statement, Your Worship. But from prosecutor's point of view, objectively, if he had not allowed to be used by Firearm for political ends, we wouldn't be where we are. This matter was advocated for by Firearm. This was no issue, Your Worship. That's why no one picked it up. There was no issue at all. When they saw something that they can use to politically discredit me, they pressured the NPA to prosecute even where there is no issue. I'm now being made to answer a statement which does not implicate me. Because I have to be implicated for me to answer. What am I answering now? This person says, I've not seen Mr. Malema do the things that you are saying he has done. And then I'm brought before this court to come and answer someone who says, I did not see me doing anything unlawful. It's unfair. This court must never be abused for political means. Crime is crime, it must be punishable. But where there is no prima facie of such, we should not even try to canvass those grounds. As a public protector, a public prosecutor, he's my prosecutor as well. I'm part of the state. He has a duty to say, there's nothing against this guy. I'm not going to prosecute. And allow the Forum to prosecute me privately if they so wish. But they must not use the limited resources of the NPA to bring a non-existing issue here. 5 officers of the court on site. Not a single one of them says, I've seen Mr. Malema engaged in unlawful activities. And what makes me happy is that in 174, Your Worship was reluctant to canvass these grounds because they were brought to you at a later stage, not much earlier, of the subs VIP being there and their statement. I'm happy now, finally, they are now being presented here as in cross-examination, because this truth I would have told the Worship even if they had not brought them forward, that there were police with me on the stage. And how do I commit crime in the presence of the police and I don't get arrested immediately? I'm not a leader of a ruling party. Neither am I a favorite of a ruling party. There's no favor I can do for them for not arresting me. Nothing. So why didn't they arrest me there and there if I did anything wrong?
Mr. Malema, just for the record, you were in court when Colonel Inquiry testified, and he said that he was the complainant who opened this docket against you.
He was told to open the case against me. He didn't open a case out of his own volition. He was told. Your Worship is in the, even in your judgment is there. He was told everything went well. That's my guy. Everything went well according to him. And then the next thing, boom, go and open a case. And I'm an officer of the law. I work under commanders. When I'm told to do something, I do it so that we can get to the bottom of this. He never, on his own, opened a case. He never, on his own. That's another police officer, by the way, who was responsible for job. He never said from his mouth, I saw Mr. Malema doing something wrong. Never said that. If anything, I was relaxed and told to go and open a case. What can I do? I'm just a mere police officer. I will never hate him for that. I will never take anything personal against him for that. The man never wanted to open any case against me. He was told to do so.
Mr. Malema, if you could allow me to ask you the questions and then you answer that particular question. It will make our time here much shorter. The police said they've never seen you having or bringing that toy firearm or being in possession of that toy firearm or a real firearm on the stage on the night in question. You confirm that from the statements you've heard.
You have heard that, and I'm saying I brought a toy gun. And none of those statements says I did not bring or I brought a toy gun. So I'm the one who can tell you. That is the only version that stands.
Who brought the toy firearm to this event?
It will be the EFF Secretary General's office because they are the ones who organize the events.
The toy firearm that you showed yesterday, to whom does it belong to?
It belongs to the EFF.
Who was in possession of this particular toy firearm before it was fired there?
No, Larry handed it over to me. Larry Mabunda. On the picture with accused number 2. On the video, it's seen there. After I shot that toy gun, I handed it over back to where it came from capable hands of Larry Mabunda.
Why was it left with the security guard, Larry Mabunda, when this is just a normal toy that anybody can carry?
He also had my bag. Why did he carry it? Because it's my bodyguard. He's there.
You refer to toy firearms. Toy firearms is almost like the play firearms. It doesn't do any damage. It doesn't cause any harm to anybody. Why was it left with Larry Mabunda?
Your Worship, that toy firearm was brought into this court yesterday by Larry Mabunda. That's his job. My bag, I don't have a bag. I'm walking into this court. Where is my bag? Is with him. I only access that toy firearm when the part comes. And then I hand it over back to them. Where you ever seen a president going around carrying things? We get served.
Mr. Malema, is Mr. Mabunda here today?
Yes.
Where is he?
It's in the audience.
Can you show us which one is Mr.
Is this
Mabunda?
allowed? Is this allowed?
Is he present today?
Yes, yeah.
And why can't you just show who he is?
But is it allowed that I should be pointing people in the crowds that are not before this court? What have we turned this court into? Into a mockery.
Mr. Malema, we're going to view the video footage.
That is what is before the court. Play it.
If you say...
Larry Mabunda is not before the court. Why must I be made to point him in the crowd? It's not before the court. We should respect the court because I'm going to ask you if those officers you are reading their statements are they here. Can you point them? I take what you are saying as being before the court and I deal with that evidence before the court. The evidence before the court is the video where Larry Mabunda is. I will gladly ask her to stop and show the court who is Larry Mabunda. But to be made to point people in the crowds, I don't think that's acceptable.
You identified Mr. Mabunda on that video footage yesterday, is that correct?
Yes.
The only thing that I'm asking is to confirm that this person that you identified in that video footage is present and where he is.
I said he's present. It's not the subject of debate. When you were playing the video here, during the whole trial, you used to say, do you see any person on that video who's here? They will say, yes, accused number 2, yes, accused number 1. They've never said we saw the person at the back of the court. It's never like that. Larry Mabunda, you had a duty and you dismally failed the state and wasted the resources of South Africa. You had a duty to charge Larry Mabunda. You didn't charge him. You want me to charge him in the audience. I won't do that. Your Worship, the firearm in question was issued to Larry Mabunda. Larry Mabunda is seen on the stage with me where it is alleged that that firearm shot at the shots at the stadium. Where is the first place to go to? Is to go to a person who, in his name, the firearm has been issued. And what makes matters worse is that the person in question is there in the video, which makes him even more suspect. They don't do that. They leave him out, and then they come here to say to me, I must point him in the crowd. It's not my job to point people at the crowd. It's my job to point at the evidence presented before you to confirm or deny it.
You also testified yesterday that Colonel Swartboy never came to ask you for your own firearm because that firearm, the 9mm, we see there could have been your own firearm.
Yes. But again, Your Worship, and the court has got a duty to protect me. I'm being asked about the firearms that are not before this court. You brought a firearm to this court. Let's deal with it. And not what is not before this court.
Can you confirm, Mr. Malema, that the firearm that was used, is that the toy firearm, the 9mm handgun?
I don't know what is 9mm, what is what. I showed you the toy gun I used. Yeah, that's my toy gun.
It's
No,
a handgun.
I can't see a gun of 9mm, what. I can't, from where I'm sitting. I can't. And there was no such a 9mm, what before this court for me to answer to it. If they brought to you before you worship a 9mm, what, and how it looks like, maybe I'll have an idea what they're talking about. I don't know. I can't see what is that. I can't stand here and say that is 9mm barrel, what. I don't know.
Can we agree that it's a smaller firearm than the other two videos?
No, I can't see if it's smaller or big. This camera was shot too far. I can't see that. Even when you do it with those people of photography, zoom in and what, I don't see it.
Do you want to go closer, sir?
I've been closer 6 years ago. I can still go now. I can't see it. I can't see. Worship, it was going to be helpful if you brought something here so that I can answer what I see and what I see there. I can't. I'm being made to answer for something I don't know what this is for.
Is that the same size firearm than the one that you brought here yesterday?
How do I say it's the same size if I can't see it? I just told you I can't see it. How do I say it's the same or not?
I put it to that it's a 9mm, that's a handgun.
That's your vision to the court, and it remains yours.
The expert that also testified yesterday also saw that that was a handgun.
At least you and that expert agree on something else. At least you also call him expert. I like that. Because he was being questioned here about peer review, which you never did with your expert. 9 statement of a ballistic expert. You never asked for peer review. The court never asked for peer review. The expert who came and said the things that you didn't like, you asked for peer review. The court said, what must I take this evidence for if it doesn't have a peer review signature? Why did the court not ask those 9 statements about the peer review signatures? Is this a fair trial? Am I being tried fairly?
Mr. Malema, I'm going to put on record that you are vague and you are avoiding the questions.
Agrio said we must speak to each other in a respectful way. You are not going to do that of pointing pens at me because I can do it times 5. And it's not going to be nice here.
Mr. Malema, the video that you're seeing there, I'm putting it to you, it's a handgun.
You said I'm vague. That's fine. That's what my lawyers will argue with you about. I don't know what is vague. All I'm saying to you is that from where I'm sitting, and I'm not the first one, even the gear house, people who came here said from this angle, I can't see that gun. Whether it's a gun or what, I don't know. I can't see. And then I'm asked about the size of this gun and the gun that I presented and the one you presented, but never presented this gun. If this gun was before this court, I will gently answer to say, okay, let me look at this one, let me look at the toy, let me look at that one. They're not the same. So I'm being made to answer the things that are not before this court. It's not here.
How many firearms was brought by yourself or the EFF for this display that was going to take place?
The one I showed you yesterday. Which looks exactly the same as the one you brought. That's what is before this court.
You are unable to tell that the one that we see on this video is the same one which you use on the other 2 videos?
I can't. I don't see it. It would as well be. I can't. I'm sorry. If that is being vague, let it be. Let me fall on my sword.
Yesterday, it was asked by the ballistic expert, Mr. De Klerk, to count those number of shots that were fired from that handgun.
Which one is the handgun now? This one?
This one that we're seeing in this video.
Oh. It was not asked, and I don't know why the court is not intervening there, because it was not asked on this gun. It was asked on a rifle, not on this.
It was specifically asked to count the number of shots you could hear whether it has been fired in this specific video. And he counted about 14 to 15 shots that he heard.
I don't know, the lawyers will have to intervene. I think it was a rifle. I counted with him. It was not on this. It was a rifle. What was asked from a guy to count was on a rifle. It was not on this. Like I said, my brother, I can't see what is there. You know, had you charged me with this, perhaps I would have paid a particular attention to it and prepare my defense on this thing that you are presenting before me, which court is unable to protect me from. Because I've faced no charge of this nature, and therefore been made to answer on things I've never prepared on. My accusation has always been that I've discharged a rifle, and a cartridge of a rifle has been found, and I've prepared my defense in relation to that. Now I'm being made to answer things that were never put to me before, in order for me to prepare this trial, for it to be a free and fair trial. So I don't see what is there. Because, Your Worship, logically, and that's what should come to our mind, all of us. Why would shots being fired, the people who are right in front of the shots being fired don't run away? And we're shown some people there who are actually in some uniform, maybe cleaning or something. I don't even know what they're doing there. The immediate threat should be with these people who are in front of the stage. And they are unmoved. So I'm shown some people there. I don't know what they are, whether they're picking up papers, whether they're security guards or what, I don't know. But it looks like they've got reflectors on. None of them came to you here, Your Worship, and said they ran away or they were moved by shots. And none of the witnesses who came here suggested those people were running away or moved by the sound of a firearm.
Do you see them just
I see them. They are not standing. There's movement amongst themselves. It might not be as visible as you want to us to make that observation. They are not standing. These people, when you look at them, Your Worship, as they are now, when they've paused them, they are together as a group, isolated. Obviously, they are busy with something else other than what we are doing here. That's why they are not with this crowd. They are there doing their own thing.
Do you want to come to the bigger screen to look at it?
I see them very well. It can't change. My vision can't change. Those people are a group of people who are moving around. As to what they are doing, I don't know. But they don't look like they are part of the crowds. That's why it doesn't come as a shock when they move around and do whatever they want to do. But at least we're all in agreement that no one is running away. Nothing. I'm saying to you, and you can take whatever decision you want to take. You're showing me some people in some corner. A shot is being fired from a stage. Do you see anyone running away from the stage? Where the shot is being fired from? Do you see anyone running away from the stage? Right immediately where the shot is being fired from. Do you see anyone running away? I'm shown some people who are engaged in some activity on the sideline of the event, and I must be answerable for them. I don't see anything. I see people on the stage. I see people in front of the stage. None of them act in a terrified manner. None of them ran away. The stage is still intact.
Are we looking at the same video, Mr. Malema?
We're looking at the same video. Yeah.
Can you play it again? Yes, you can go back.
No, I don't want to go back. I want to point. Before the shots are fired, this is the man who's standing here. Yeah. After the shots are fired, this man is still standing here. Before the shots are fired, Mam Kaula is dancing here. After the shots were fired, Mam Kaula is standing here. These are human beings who should react. What is more important about those people than the people who are immediate next to the action? What is this selective way of wanting to arrive at the justice? I'm not pointing at people in the periphery. I'm pointing you to the people who are next to the activity. You can't point at one of them as running away or moving away or anything of that sort. So I'm not going to be answerable for people that I don't even know what they are there for. I don't know whether it was their time to depart or whatever coincidence happened, I don't know. All I'm saying is you've got women on the stage there. You've got women and children in front of the stage, the young people. You've got men on the stage there. None of them act terrified. Even the man who leads the song, Your Worship, he doesn't, when he hears what is so-called shots, say, he sings the way he was singing. Nothing changes in his voice. Because he must react if there's something that is unusual happening. Sorry.
Thank you.
Let me tell you, there is no one who can tell me how to answer questions. No one. Not even a hanging judge can do that to me. No one. It's not going to start with you. It has never happened. I'm answering the way I want to answer.
Which direction are you moving from that stage? Which direction are you moving? You are moving to the far right. Is that correct? And you're also firing shots towards the right where those people are standing. Can you confirm that?
I'm not firing any shots, by the way. There's no shots I'm firing. So which shots am I going to say I'm firing them from the far right? I'm not firing any shots. I've never fired any shots.
See,
I don't. No, I've never accepted that I see a firearm there. I'm saying to you, I wouldn't know whether this is the part of the rifle or not the part of the rifle. My concentration has always been about the charge you have put before me, and the charge before me is the rifle. I've not paid attention to that thing. If I discharged a 9mm pistol, in this picture, I should have been charged with it, and it was supposed to be brought to this court. Then I will know that I've got a duty to prepare myself on this aspect because I'm being charged with it. So to me, it's non-issue this.
Mr. Malema, you are being charged for discharging a firearm in a built-up area. That's exactly what that represents when you're discharging that.
You brought a firearm you are alleging I discharged at the stadium. You didn't bring this one. Bring it now. Let's see. The firearm you are alleging I discharged in an enclosed area is the one you brought to this court. And then I brought the one that I discharged on that day. Had you made any allegation about this, I would have provided this court with sufficient response because I would have prepared myself in this regard. This is no charge before me.
This evidence in a whole was always part of the state's case.
You did not charge me with any pistol. You never brought any pistol before this court.
Mr. Malema, if that was a real pistol, hypothetically speaking, and you have discharged it in the manner which we see you discharge on the video, would you have put the lives of those people that were standing there around the stadium in danger, hypothetically speaking?
I will not have put anyone's life in danger because I will never have done that. Not even in a dream, I can wake up. If I dream like that, I wake up immediately. I will never put the lives of our people at risk.
I want to put it to you that that is indeed a real firearm that you are using right there, endangering the lives of those people who were standing there.
It is your failed version. Incompetent, incoherent version. With no little bit of proof. An abuse of prosecuting powers.
The people on the stadium, you said yesterday, they were all members of parliament, and one is a senior counsel. Is that correct?
I never said they were all members of parliament. I said there are some members of parliament. And one of them is a senior counsel of the bar, who will not have witnessed a crime being committed and not report it because the bar will debar him.
The gist of your evidence was basically that it's not nobodies that's standing there, it's important people that's on that stage. Is that correct?
And the revoking of parliament is to say to you, there are lawmakers there who ordinarily will have to respect the law. And when a crime is being committed, they are duty bound to report it. Otherwise, that will be against their oath of office. Your Worship, what stops a senior counsel to report me? What will I do to a senior counsel? These are not laymen. These are not job seekers. These are not my garden boys and domestic workers. I'm giving you an example of a senior counsel, well-seasoned senior counsel. If he wants to create an impression that they were scared of me, why would the senior counsel be scared of me? The person who sings, who's leading the song, by the way, with a microphone, is a doctor. It's a PhD doctor, a thinker of note. It's no layman.
Mr. Malema, let's just get this out of the way. You are indeed a very accomplished and an esteemed politician. Can we agree that much?
You can't take that away from me.
Yes. For anybody to just come and lay a charge against you might not just be an easy task.
Why did the police officer do it when a senior counsel can't do it because he's scared of me? A mere police officer. Whatever power I have, which I would have exercised on a senior counsel, what about an ordinary police officer? It's not true, that assertion.
Your evidence? Your evidence was that reason why all this was decided upon was to put up a show and to entertain the crowd. Is that correct?
Yes.
In both videos, in all three videos basically that was played, can you confirm that you're moving away from the people that's actually standing in the crowd towards the far right of the stage, the end of that stage?
Absolutely.
Why would you do that if you were there to entertain the crowd and put up a show?
Well, when you are about to make an act, you have to isolate yourself so that people can see what you are doing. You don't drown in the crowd. Let's take the 10th anniversary of the EFF and the FNB. If you look at that video, I move away from the leadership and I'm alone there in front, and then the stage takes me up alone. It doesn't take me with everyone because it's an act that must be performed by that actor. If we grow up watching movies and not bioscopes, we'll understand how movies work.
Is it correct, the act that you're just talking about now, you said you moved to the front,
Yes.
so that so people can see you right there in the front,
Yes.
and the stage is now going to go up,
Yes.
is that correct?
Yes.
Why didn't you do it here
The,
in this
sta-
instance?
the stage is designed differently. If you look at that stage of the FNB, it has got a platform where everybody is seated, and then it has got a runaway. So you move from this crowd, you go as if you are going forward, alone on a runaway. Somewhere you stop there, in the middle of the runaway, the stage goes up. That was different stage to what you see now. Here, these ones are going to be singing on the middle of the stage, and then you will go on the side of the stage to perform the act, so that the act does not get drowned by many people who are on the stage. It's a lead actor. Steering.
What's the point then of that if you have to go right to the corner of that stage where very few people could actually observe what you are about to do?
But you are not there, you don't know if very few people can see what I'm about to do. One. Two, your own witnesses who came here told you they had cameras which were beaming us into big screens of that stadium, on the stage and everywhere else. So you are of no authority to come here and say very few people can see me. You were not there, I was there. And I can tell you the act was carried properly the way it was designed and was viewed by the people that we were targeting in that stadium. So no few people viewed that act. Cameras, by the way, your worship, are there for that purpose. Where there is a need for an act to be zoomed into a bigger screen, people should be able to see, because ordinarily as the crowds, as many people, some will be at the far end. So even if you are to perform it right at the center of the stage, without cameras and the screens, a lot of people may not see what you are doing. That's why we've got cameras and we've got big screens. So it doesn't matter from where you are, you will be picked up, especially if this is designed to be part of the act. Everything else you see happening there is calculated. If you go and look at that stage of the EFF going up at the FNB, I dropped the mic. That mic did not disappear. Someone knew the mic is going to be dropped and is going to capture it from the ground and put it safe. Everything is well calculated and designed to be the way it was.
On the video, when you actually went to go perform your act, one can count 7 people from that specific video, just on the video. I'm not talking about what's going on next to and behind.
But if this court is going to allow you to say such things, then I'm not going to answer. Because there's no 7 people who can be counted there. 7 people.
On the far right, those people that we said.
No, you're saying people in front of me. There are no 7 people there. There are a lot of people there.
On the far right, sir, on the videos it's standing there where you went to go perform this specific act. What we count there, the ones that moved away are 7.
I never went to perform this there. I never. I performed this in front of the stage, and that which you see at the end of the pitch is not the front of the stage. That will be misleading to the court. I'm in front of the stage. Those people are not in front of the stage. That's why the videos are misleading. They make you see people as if they are at one place. They are not at one place. If you play this, you will see the corner of that stage. And that corner of the stage was not reaching the end of the pitch. It was in the middle of the pitch. Those people he keeps on referring to, they are almost at the fence that divides the grandstand and the pitch. They are not in front of the stage, those people. The people who are at the front of the stage are the ones I was showing your worship on the screen. Those are the people who are in front of the stage.
Why didn't you just fire towards their direction as they are standing there?
It's none of your business. It's my business where I fire from. It's my event. I can even fire under the stage if you so wish. I decide how I'm going to perform it. It's none of your business. You have no business with how EFF conducts its business. As long as it's lawful and it doesn't violate any law, where do you come in? Ungenapi?
Mr. Malema, the only logical explanation as to why you did that is because you knew that those firearms were indeed real firearms that you've used there.
An incompetent, incoherent, inferior prosecution is what you are trying to prove here. An abuse of power. You will not win with me. This act can be performed anywhere. I can even go and perform it on the grandstand if you wish. Anywhere. There's no prescription by the law. That's why I'm asking you, where do you come in? There's no law that says you must perform it here, not there. Perform it there, not there. I can go anywhere I want to do this. Where it will have a maximum impact, where it will not drown in the crowd, I will still perform it. I write my own script.
Ms. Clara, can you go to the third video, please? The viral one. From the time when you arrived there up to the time when you left, nobody else that you know of, or do you know of anybody that fired shots at this particular stadium, apart from what we've seen here in this video?
I'm not the Holy Spirit, I won't know if there was shots fired before I arrived, shots fired a night before, shots fired after I left. I wouldn't know. But for as long as I'm concerned, this is the only act we carried out. Any other thing, I'm not responsible for it. I don't know it.
So you confirm you didn't see any of shots being fired, anybody firing shots in your presence on the night in question or during the day when you were there?
That includes me. I didn't see myself firing shots, so I didn't see anyone.
The way I view it is that he came slightly in front of Larry when that firearm was handed over.
You know, Your Worship, I must really know which case am I dealing with. He came in front of Larry. When I give a response, he slightly came in front of Larry. It keeps on changing as it goes. Which case am I answering? I've answered that at no point, and you are the one who's alleging before this court. Ask her to play and stop the way I'm doing. Let her stop where the white man slightly comes in front of Larry. I've demonstrated it. I don't know how best can I do it. We off camera, we get into the camera. It's me in the front with the firearm. Larry comes charging even much more closer. When I finish shooting, as I turn, the white man comes in. He comes closer to us, but Larry is there. Larry takes the firearm. Once the white man realizes that whatever was happening is done, he makes a U-turn and Larry follows him because Larry was ahead of him. When they turned, he was now leading the way. So, show Your Worship where you are saying at some point he came before us. You can't do it. Even with your own video that you came with. And if this is your video, you should not even be making this court to struggle. You should be saying at 1 minute 36 seconds, stop there. Because you prepared for this case. 1 minute 36 seconds, stop there. Then that's where you will see that the white man is between yourself and Larry. He can't demonstrate that before court. We must take it because he just says it. It's not happening.
The rifle that you are using there, is it able to discharge real ammunition and produce spent cartridges?
It doesn't discharge real ammunition. It doesn't take out spent cartridges as you say them. They are blinds. So those blinds, Your Worship, when you shoot, that's why we can't shoot it inside here because those blinds get out. The small ones also get out. But it's not the size of what has been presented before this court. So if you have someone like her standing and then you shoot from here, if this thing throws and hits her eye, it can injure her. But it's not a very big thing that you will think if it gets out, it can cause a serious damage, but it's safer not to discharge it in a place like this.
We are in agreement that the real firearm that was tested, SPA-249, and the one that we see on this video, which you claim to be a toy firearm, a blank firearm, looks identical. Is that correct?
I'm happy you're saying we're in agreement.
how would you have known that the firearm that Larry was handing over to was indeed SPA 249 or this blank firearm that you are claiming that you've used?
We have spoken about it, and then I'm the one who placed it in his position that when the time comes, he'll hand it over to me. And I told you, he's got the highest form of training. I actually, I was wondering yesterday when your worship took the firearm from me, the accused. Ordinarily, it must go to a police officer and then go to your worship. So when it came from Larry, the officer, I knew that he won't swap it for anything real. That's how much trust I have in the South African police services.
See, it's common course before this court that this SPA, the real firearm, was also booked out to Larry Mabundla on the day of the incident.
Charge him and ask him if it was booked to him. You should have charged him. Because, I mean, come on, prosecutor. If and Sira does that thing for a purpose. They say when you take out the firearm in the premises, the person who received that firearm must be identified and be recorded. You go to the premises where the firearm is found. They say the firearm was released to Larry Mabunda. And then this firearm goes and do wrong things, your worship. You don't go to the person responsible for the firearm. You go look for other people. What makes the state case even worse? The police say when we were busy at the premises, the certain Larry Mabunda brought back this firearm that is before the court now to confirm that indeed it was released in his care. While they are busy trying to collect the firearms, Larry Mabunda brings back that firearm, including a pistol, back to them. Still that person, whose record shows is the one who they released the firearm to, who the police came to give a testimony that we received this specific firearm from him. Still that person is not charged. And tell me of justice. Especially for accused number 2, who has nothing to do with this. No paper says this gun was under his care. The gun was never reported stolen. Everything is above board. If anything, my lord, Larry Mabunda cooperates with the police. He's still not an accused in this matter.
Mr. Malema, it could have been done by now with your cross-examination if you have just allowed us to. I'm going to get to that part where the police visits the premises of tactical security where accused number 2 was present when they visited this.
Yes.
What happened with this firearm that's been used on this video after you fired shots?
What happened to it, meaning?
What happened to it?
Larry Mabunda took it away and went to put it wherever he put it. He can best explain that part. But when the case started, we went back to the SG of the organization to say, it looks like we've got an issue here. They reassured us that no, the thing is back in their care. And when we need it, as in when, they will hand it over to us. So it's an EFF property and did not get lost in between. It's still there. I came with it yesterday.
When the police visited the premises of tactical security, the person that was present when SP249 was presented to them and the 9mm Glock was accused number 2. You've heard that evidence, is that correct?
He might have been present, but the police officer brings Larry Mabunda's name. He says, while we're still there, Larry Mabunda came with a rifle and a pistol. Please, prosecutor, you are the one who's more educated than me on these matters. This part you should not have missed. The accused number 2 was there when the first round of firearms were taken. Then they were brought back, and then the second one came. They came to take the second batch. In the second batch, when they were still busy, Larry Mabunda walks in with the firearm. He says, I'm told you are looking for this firearm. He gives them a firearm and a pistol. And then that's where we are. That's how this firearm ends up in this court, the real firearm. They were given by Larry Mabunda. So, your worship, a gun gets issued to me. Its cartridge is found somewhere that this gun was shot somewhere. No one comes to me to say, hey man, that gun that we issued to you was apparently used somewhere unlawfully. What is your account? That's the beginning of the case. You don't do that. You don't do that. If anything, you go look for a person who has got nothing to do with what happened. Yes, I'm right here because I'm in the video. I'm seen carrying something that can be confused for a gun. But this fellow has got no reason of being here.
The bottom line of the question was actually when the police visited the premises of Technical Security Services for the first time, they were only presented with these two firearms, the 9mm Glock and the SP249, which they didn't want to take.
I give up. Is there in the judgment of 174, and the lawyers must come in now because this guy is misquoting what really transpired.
That's not evidence.
Larry Mabunda must answer where was this firearm which we found its cartridge at a particular place. That's where we should have started. You don't start at the end. You start at the beginning. Whose firearm is this? Where was it booked out for? Under whose name it is? Why is its cartridge found here? Hey chap, what were you doing with cartridges at the Sisa Dukashi Stadium? Because this was issued in your name. None of that occurs. What happens? Cartridges are found. Whether they were dropped there, whether someone was playing games with them, we don't know. We're being made to answer. And the people who are responsible for the firearm are not being made to answer. I cannot answer about the cartridge. I cannot answer about that firearm you're talking about. I gave you my firearm.
What purpose would anybody have to go put a spent cartridge belonging to a firearm to a company that accused number 2 works for there at the Sister Dukashi Stadium?
Hey, they will better know. Why would I know on their behalf? I don't know. You are talking about a political party. You are talking about a political leader here. And there are so many conspiracies that exist which we don't want to bring before this court. So don't want me to second guess why that cartridge was found there.
I want to put it to you lastly that you were the one that fired SPA 249 firearm that was actually linked to this offense.
Put my fingerprint on it. Put my DNA to it. Put it in my premises. Put it on my body. Put it in any of the papers or any of the witnesses that came here and said, yes, he was responsible for this. If you can't meet all of these tests, you are driving a different agenda and not the one of justice. You can't put me anywhere next to that firearm.
Mr. Malema, would you still be, do you think your fingerprints will still be there if the police only went to go fetch those firearms in August at the Technical Security, a month later after this incident had occurred?
Ballistics will know. I don't know. We always arrest people through fingerprints. They say there is something called powder that is checked when you have discharged a firearm. None of that sort was checked on me. None. A person who, in whose, your worship, if Larry took that gun and gave it to me without following the law, Larry committed a crime. He must be held accountable. That you are negligent because you left the gun in the car and somehow Mr. Malema got hold of it and went to discharge it in public, or you gave Mr. Malema a firearm and he went to discharge it in public, or anything of that sort. It's not done. And you must tell me that's justice. Why are we starting at the end? Where is the beginning of this firearm? How does it end in the hands of Mr. Malema? How does it leave the premises of people who own this firearm?
If Larry did do that, as you now states, regardless of that fact, you should have checked before you fired that firearm if it was indeed a real firearm or a dummy or toy firearm.
I knew it was a toy. We were all together. If you have a problem of collegiality where you work, we don't have that problem. When a colleague is assigned an assignment, and this is how he's going to execute it, you have no reason, none whatsoever, to doubt that which is being presented to you. He's not just a colleague. He's a disciplined member of the force who served at the second highest level, who knows what discipline means and knows the implications of doing what you are alleging is done. And why would he even risk it and do it in front of the police?
Please, no further questions for this witness.
Nda.